Good morning, students. Welcome to Good Samaritan School online classes. In the last class, we discussed the introduction of carbon and its compound and the properties of covalent bond, and also we compared covalent bond with ionic bond. Here we learned and also we learned the covalency of carbon, and today we are going to do the same thing again repeatedly. And why we are doing so is maybe this video help you to understand more on the covalency of carbon and also the properties of covalent bond. Yes, we have learned the importance of carbon in our day-to-day life, and we started this chapter by learning the importance of carbon and the uses of carbon in our day-to-day life activities. And today we are going to learn again the properties of covalent bond. Only four very important properties. I made it very simply so that it will be easy for you to keep it in your mind. I just want to go a little faster. Okay, let's learn to this. Bonding. How the bonding of these covalent compounds do. How they will bond with each other or combine with each other. By sharing an electron. As we know that ionic bonds or a co-electrovalent bond, they try to lose an electron and also gain an electron. For example, sodium and chlorine, in that what they do, sodium will lose an electron and also chlorine gains an electron and it forms sodium chloride. But here in covalent bond, it never happens like that. It happens just by sharing their electrons. So that means in carbon they also give one electron, another carbon will also give an electron. So these two dots combines to form a bond. Okay, I'm not going to say that it is actually a dot. Actually this dot I made it is actually an electrons. Okay, they usually started sharing an electrons. Okay, so how they form a bond? They form single bond and also double and as well as triple bonds can be formed in covalent compound. Then what about the physical state? The physical state of these covalent compounds are soft and volatile. That means they can be very easily very soft and volatile. That means they can change their state from solid to liquid or liquid to gas. So they are in different forms. That means they are in solid form, liquid form as well as in a gaseous form. But will you compare with this with ionic compound? If you compare with ionic compounds are all only in solid state. They never in liquid state. Okay. And physical state of this covalent compounds are they usually have a low melting and boiling point. Okay, let's move on to the solubility. The solubility, they soluble only in organic solvents and insoluble in water. If I want to compare with ionic compounds, it's vice versa, right? They soluble in water but insoluble in organic solvents, right? And then conductivity in and all the covalent compounds, they are not a good conductor of electricity, but ionic compounds are. In solid state, they never conduct any electricity, but only in the molten state they conduct electricity. Okay, let's move on to the covalency of carbon. Covalency of carbon talks about how this carbon is going to combine with other carbon or other elements or atoms of other elements. If you see that carbon is having atomic number, okay, 6. Okay, carbon have atomic number 6. I can write it as carbon having atomic number 6. So that means they have, this is a nucleus, they have 2 electron in the first shell and 4 electron in the last shell. So it looks like this carbon, they have actually 4 electrons on the last shell. Okay, 4 electrons. So if this 4 electron, if the carbon wants to gain or lose, what they do? It could gain an 4 electrons. Only possibility is it needs to gain 4 more electrons to form an octet configuration. Am I right? If it gains 4 electrons, then it will become 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 octet configuration हो जाएगा. This is one possibility. What is another thing? Carbon will be like this, 2 electron in the first shell, 4 electron in the last shell. The other case is it needs to lose all these 4 electron. Either it should become C4 minus anion, नहीं तो C4 plus cation होना चाहिए. But these two things never happens. Why? It could gain 4 electrons from C4 minus anion. So that means if it gains 4 electron, gain होने के बाद 4 C4 minus anion हो जाएगा. इसका मतलब क्या है? 8 हो जाएगा. 8 हो जाएगा तो but how many protons which is present inside this nucleus? There are only 6 only. Is it possible that 6 proton can hold 10 electrons of this carbon after gaining that 4 electron? That is quite impossible. That's what is saying. This cannot happen. I repeat once again. It could gain 4 electrons and forms C4 minus anion. एक बार 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन लेने के बाद ये C4 माइनस हो सकते हैं, but it is difficult for the nucleus with 6 protons to hold on 10 electrons. Okay, that is why it's not possible. What is the other case? It needs to lose that 4 electron. Is it possible we can lose that 4 electron? No, but it requires a large amount of energy to remove. Even if I want to remove 1 electron from a carbon, I need to spend a lot of energy to remove this 1 electron. Is it possible I can remove all these 4 electrons? It's quite impossible. इसका मतलब क्या है? That means we need to leave the carbon का proton 6 proton है and only 2 electron बचेंगे. Is it possible that carbon will form like that? This is also not possible. So what is possible with carbon? So only sharing is possible with carbon. That means the one which is going to combine with carbon, they also have to give an electron, and carbon also give an electron. So both they share their electron and they form a bond. This is a carbon. If this is a carbon, another carbon, they both share their electrons to form a bond. Then only this is possible. Is it possible that only carbon is doing this sharing process? No, not just carbon, but many other elements form molecules by sharing electrons in the same manner. Let's take some examples and do by ourselves. Okay, first we'll start with hydrogen molecule. It is actually given in your book also in page number 60. You can turn to that page number 60 and you can see hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen, and I'm going to do it how it happens. Okay, formation of covalent bond in hydrogen molecule. If I take hydrogen, only hydrogen, hydrogen's atomic number is 1, right? So they have only 1 electron with them. If this hydrogen going to combine with another hydrogen, what they do? Another hydrogen is coming to combine with this hydrogen, and this hydrogen is also have 1 electron with them. So what is the possibility here? They both have to share their electrons. Once they share their electron, they form a bond with themselves. Okay, see that. What is the how many bond is here? Only 1 bond. So it will be a single bond. How can we understand this is becoming completely they are satisfying the octet configuration? Look at this. Once this hydrogen giving this electron, this hydrogen cannot say that this is my electron, and also this hydrogen after it share its electron, this hydrogen also cannot say that this is my electron. So once they share their electron, these 2 electrons are common for both. So if I take only this hydrogen is now satisfied with the 2 electrons. If I take this hydrogen is also satisfied with 2 electrons. Will you understand now? So the bond formed between them is a single bond, right? So what is the molecule here it forms? It forms H2 molecule. And what is the bond type here? A single bond type, right? So this is how it forms. Now we'll move on to the oxygen molecule. Okay, let's take oxygen. Oxygen's atomic number is 8. And what is the electronic configuration of oxygen? Yes, 2 and 6. First shell में 2 and last shell में 6. Always the last shell will be taken because only the last shell is going to participate in the chemical reaction. Okay, now draw the oxygen. This oxygen is having 6 electron in the outermost shell. So I can draw like this. 1. So I can put into also, and also you can put dot also. That's not a problem. Okay, this oxygen is having 6 electron, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and this is going to combine with another oxygen, and that oxygen is also having 6 electron in the outermost shell, obviously. So what happened? Once they started sharing their electron, what they do now, it's not possible for an oxygen to share one electron. So what they do, they share 2 electrons. So this oxygen is sharing this as well as this, and this oxygen is also sharing this as well as this. So there is a bond formed between them. Okay, now once after it shared, now count the number of electron this oxygen having now. So it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this oxygen is satisfied with octet configuration. Now count for this oxygen. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is also satisfied with this octet configuration. So the bond which is formed between oxygen and oxygen is a double bond. And what is the molecule formed? O2. Now can I ask you a question. Is it possible we can form a single bond in this? No. Shall we try it now? This oxygen 1 2 3 4 5 6. And this oxygen 1 2 3 4 5 6. Is it possible it can form a single bond? You can say that, sir, see that this and this bond can combine. Okay, after it combined, please join and see. Now count all the electrons in this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That means 7 is not an octet configuration. Will you understand? So this is not possible. So only possibility is oxygen can form a double bond. Okay, let's move on to this covalent bond in nitrogen molecules. Nitrogen atomic number is 7. So the electronic configuration is 2 5. Okay. Okay, take a nitrogen. 5 electron on the outermost shell. So I can write 1 2 3 4 5. And this nitrogen also 1 2 3 4 5. Now the bond formed between them is a triple bond. Now count the number of electrons here with this nitrogen. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is also satisfied. So the bond formed between nitrogen and nitrogen is triple bond. So here what we have learned is, here also there is a possibility, we cannot say that always a single bond formed. As we discussed before, in covalent bond, single bond is also possible, double bond is also possible, as well as triple bond is also possible. One more example is there, and that we are going to do by ourselves. Chlorine atom. Okay, how this chlorine can combine with each other. Can everyone try by yourself chlorine? Let's do by ourselves. Chlorine atomic number is 17. So electronic configuration is 287. So we need only the last shell. So take 7 electron. Chlorine. So 7 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And take another chlorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So chlorine, this electron and this electron, they combine with each other and they form an octet configuration. You can count all the electrons here, it became 8. And the bond formed between chlorine and chlorine is a single bond, so it forms Cl2 chlorine molecule, right? So there is a question given in your book at page number 61. You can also try that question. Question number 1, what would be the electron dot structure of carbon dioxide which has the formula CO2? Okay, will you all try to do that? So electron dot structure for carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide, that means one carbon, two oxygen. So let's draw for carbon. Carbon, as we know that we have 4 valence electrons in the last shell. So I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 valence electrons of carbon. And I'm going to draw 2 oxygen on both the sides of carbon, here as well as here. And each, as we know that oxygen combines with a double bond, right? So let's start with here 1, 2. How many valence electron this oxygen has? Yes, 6 valence electron. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now this carbon combines and here also they combines. So now count for only carbon dot structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now carbon is satisfied, octet configuration. Now go and check with the oxygen. Count the number of electron in the oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is also satisfied. Now count for this oxygen also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is also satisfied. So the structure of carbon, it looks like C O O. That means 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 electrons are not participating in any chemical reaction. So these 2 are, we can say that as a lone pair. Lone pair. मतलब अकेले रहते हैं. Okay. So these 1, 2, we have 2 lone pairs and 2 lone pairs of oxygen in both the sides. So this is a structure of carbon dioxide. Okay. So this is the answer for your question. There is another question asked in that same page. What would be the electron dot structure of the molecule of sulfur which is made up of 8 atoms of sulfur? Okay, there is a hint also given. 8 atoms of sulfur are joined in the form of a ring. Okay, so I am going to draw simply the structure of sulfur and you are going to make it as a dot structure. Okay, so sulfur structure is actually looks like this. Okay, this is sulfur molecule. So actually sulfur is S8, like oxygen O2, N2, nitrogen bolding. So sulfur has S8. I think in 9th standard we learned this topic, polyatomic atoms. Okay, so it looks like so this is how the structure of sulfur looks. So if you count all the sulfurs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is actually this. In other words, it's said to be a crown structure. It looks like a crown. You can look at it. Okay, so this is the structure of sulfur molecule, and this I made as a clue for you, and you're going to make a dot structure. I hope you can do the dot structure. Dot structure कैसे बनाना है? Okay, sulfur का atomic number लेना है, and each and every dot को actually you need to make a circle and show that octet configuration. The next topic is allotropes of carbon. Allotropes of carbon is the carbon, they occurs in different forms in nature. That means, as we know that carbon uh, diamond is also a carbon, graphite is also a carbon, coal is also a carbon. So that means carbon, they appear as in a physical property or in a physical state, they appear in totally different forms. That is what actually allotropes. And here we are going to see two examples. One is diamond, another is graphite. How the diamond structure looks. That means each carbon, I made a small model here so that you can see it. Okay, all these blue color indicates carbon. This is a carbon. This carbon is combined with four different carbons. This carbon is combined with 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons, and they form a 3D structure. Can you able to see this 3D structure, three-dimensional structure? I made a very simple thing here, and you can, if you want to make, you can make it even bigger also, as it given in your page page number 61. That like I can say that here also you can join, here also you can join another 1, 2, 3, 4, that means structure, and you can make even bigger also. This is one example simple model here. That means each carbon atoms combined with 4 carbon atoms forming a rigid 3D structure. Okay, this is what the model looks. Okay, and here also you can combine with another atoms, right? Piche ek bana do. So like that it keeps on going. Okay, it keeps on going. So this is what the diamond structure looks. Okay, let's move on to the graphite structure. Each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms in the same plane, giving rise to an hexagonal array. Okay, let's try with this also. This is one hexagonal array. That means this carbon combined with 3 carbon atoms, not like this one. This is combining with 4 carbon atom, but here it is combined only with 3 carbon atoms. Like this is one carbon atom, this carbon combined with 3 carbon, and this carbon is combined with another 3 carbon. So now these two are going to combine like this with some of these bonds attached with themselves, for example like this. So you can see that they looks like an hexagonal structure. Can you see that? Will you able to understand? Yes, it looks like this hexagonal structure in a plane. That's what is given here. Other atom in the same plane giving an hexagonal array in the same plane, not like this. You can see this is not in the same plane. एक तो इधर जा रहा है, इधर ऊपर जा रहा है, एक तो ऊपर आ रहा है. It's not in the same plane. But here all these happens in the same plane, and they all attached like one by one with each other. That means एक यहाँ पे है तो इसके ऊपर एक और बना देंगे तो so it look like a sandwich. Sandwich के ऊपर ऐसे कैसे लगाऊं, right? So it looks like the same. ऊपर इसका ऊपर नीचे ऐसे ऐसे बनाएंगे तो कैसे होगा? It looks like that, right? So this is how the graphite looks like. And very important thing, in that 3 bond, see if I take only this, that means one carbon atom combines with 3 carbon atom, but if this is not satisfying the valency, right? Carbon has 4 valency, right? So here carbon, one here, one here, one here. So where is the another one? So it is combining with a double bond actually. One of that carbon is combining with a double bond. Same here also, one of that is going to combine with a double bond. Are you able to understand this? Yeah, this is how the structure of a carbon looks like. Okay, sorry, the graphite looks like. Okay, it looks like that. One hexagonal के नीचे एक और hexagonal बनाएंगे तो कैसे होगा, right? So this is how the graphite structure looks like on the top to bottom. Okay students, today we learned some of these properties of covalent bond, and also how the formation of covalent bond in hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, some chlorine, and also the allotropes of carbon. Okay, and we have one more allotropes of carbon is there, that is Buckminster fluorine, and that is containing nearly 60 carbon atoms combined together, and that is actually given in your book. You can go through that, and still if you have any doubt on this topic we have learned, you please ask me in the WhatsApp number. Thank you student, and have a nice day.